Have you ever looked in the mirror and quietly asked yourself, where did my strength go? There was a time I couldn't even lift the kettle for tea. My legs felt hollow, my arms like dry bamboo. I thought, maybe this is just old age. But growing up in a quiet village in Japan, I remembered something my mother used to feed me every morning. Something sticky, strong-smelling, but full of life. A humble food that Japanese elders still eat daily. Not sardines, not expensive meat, but a small, powerful gift from soybeans. Today, I'm nearly 75. I walk every morning. I cook for myself. I feel light again. And in this video, I want to share that secret with you. Before we begin, I'd love to know, where are you watching this from, and what time is it for you right now? Please let me know in the comments below. I truly look forward to reading them. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss what's coming next. The morning that changed everything. It was a quiet morning in early spring. The kind of morning where the mist still clings to the garden stones, and even the birds are slow to wake. I sat on the edge of my futon, legs hanging, arms heavy. I reached for the teapot, and my hand trembled. That's when I whispered to myself, so this is what aging feels like. But that same morning, something changed. My daughter had come to visit, bringing a small container wrapped in paper. "Papa," she said gently, "I brought you natto, just like what Grandma used to make." The moment I opened it, the smell hit me. Strong, earthy, fermented. For some, natto is strange, but for me, it was a memory of my mother stirring it into warm rice before I left for school, saying, "This will keep you strong, even when you're old." I hadn't eaten it in years. Somewhere along the way, I had drifted into more modern Western ways, bread, sausages, milk. But none of those gave me energy. My legs felt hollow. My joints ached. That morning, I mixed the natto with a splash of soy sauce, added chopped green onions, and spooned it over hot rice. As I ate, something in me stirred, not just in my body, but in my spirit. It was a return, a remembering. In the days that followed, I ate natto every morning. Slowly, I felt the stiffness leave my knees. I could stand from the floor with less effort. My afternoon naps grew shorter, and I began taking walks again. I wasn't young again, but I was present again. A month later, I visited my local health center for a checkup. The nurse smiled and said, "You've gained some muscle around your calves. Are you doing strength training?" I laughed. No weights, no gym, just breakfast. A humble, sticky, stringy bowl of natto. Now at 75, I still prepare it the same way each morning. It's not just food. It's medicine, memory, and strength, all in one bowl. I often think of how many older folks in America are searching for strength in expensive supplements or hard-to-digest meats, when the answer could be sitting quietly in the refrigerated section of an Asian grocery store, passed over, unnoticed. So before we talk about the science behind it, let me tell you exactly what natto is, and why it has been quietly fueling the strength of Japanese elders for generations. What is natto? Japan's 20x protein superfood. If you've never seen natto before, it might surprise you. It's sticky, it's stringy, and it carries a smell that some call funky. But in Japan, we call it powerful. A food with soul. Natto is made from soybeans, small, humble, everyday beans, fermented using a special bacteria called Bacillus subtilis. This process transforms them into something far more potent. During fermentation, the beans soften, their nutrients become easier to absorb, and they develop a unique, almost cheesy aroma. In terms of protein, natto delivers something remarkable. Per gram of dry weight, it contains nearly 20 times more protein than sardines. But it's not just the quantity that matters, it's how your body uses it. Natto's protein is plant-based, gentle on the stomach, and easily digestible for older adults whose bodies may no longer handle red meats or heavy fish well. But protein is just the beginning. Natto is also rich in vitamin K2, a rare nutrient that helps move calcium into your bones and out of your arteries. For seniors, this is vital: stronger bones and better heart health. In fact, a long-term Japanese study found that those who ate natto regularly had significantly lower risk of bone fractures, especially in older women. Then, there's nattokinase, a natural enzyme created during fermentation. It supports healthy blood flow, dissolving tiny clots, and reducing the risk of stroke or high blood pressure without the side effects of medication. This is one reason why natto is quietly famous among Japanese centenarians. We don't just eat it, we trust it. I remember my grandfather, who lived past 100, always saying, "Eat what the body recognizes, fermented, grown in the earth, prepared with care." Today, modern science is finally catching up with what Japanese tradition has known all along. Fermented soy holds extraordinary power, but it's not a miracle food. It's a steady companion, a quiet builder. Most Western diets focus on more protein, more pills, more powders. In Japan, we focus on balance. Natto fits perfectly into this idea, not as a loud solution, but as a quiet helper your body thanks you for. And the best part? Natto is affordable. A pack costs less than a cup of coffee. No fancy packaging, no hype, just results you can feel. 6 quiet reasons natto rebuilds muscle and restores energy. Some foods shout for attention, bright packages, bold flavors, big promises. But natto, it whispers, it doesn't promise youth. It simply helps you stay steady. That's the kind of strength we elders value most. Let me share with you the 6 quiet ways natto has helped me, and many others in Japan, rebuild muscle and restore a sense of energy we thought we had lost. First, natto is rich in plant-based protein that your body doesn't have to fight to absorb. Meats can be heavy, protein shakes can upset the stomach, but natto feels light. After eating it, I don't feel full, I feel ready. It gives your muscles what they need to repair without taxing your digestion. This is especially important as our metabolism slows and our bodies become more selective about what they accept. Second, it supports bone strength, which goes hand in hand with muscle health. Vitamin K2 in natto helps carry calcium to the bones and keeps it out of the arteries. When your bones feel sturdy, walking becomes easier. Lifting things feels less scary. I once slipped and caught myself without falling. That day, I quietly thanked my natto. I believe it was this quiet support that made a difference, not overnight, but gradually, faithfully. Third, natto helps with joint comfort. Its natural enzymes have anti-inflammatory effects. Before, my knees would throb after just a short walk. Now, they feel more forgiving. Not perfect, but peaceful. And as you know, peace in the joints means freedom in movement and in the spirit. Fourth, it supports better sleep. Did you know that natto contains tryptophan? It's an amino acid that helps your body produce serotonin, which then becomes melatonin, the hormone that helps you sleep. After months of restless nights, I started waking up before the sunrise. Not out of discomfort, but from calm rest. The kind of rest that doesn't just refresh the body, but lifts the mind. Fifth, natto strengthens your immune system. Because it's a fermented food, natto introduces friendly bacteria into your gut. And as we age, the gut becomes the gatekeeper of our health. A healthier gut means fewer infections, fewer sick days, and more energy to enjoy the small things, like reading a good book or planting flowers. You may not notice it overnight, but your body will quietly thank you. And sixth, natto is easy to fit into your life. You don't need to cook. Just open a pack, stir it, add soy sauce or mustard, and eat. You can mix it into rice, top it on toast, or stir into miso soup. In Japan, it's our quiet breakfast, a ritual that begins the day not with noise, but with nourishment. And sometimes it's the calmest rituals that hold the deepest power. There is no need to eat it every day at first. Twice a week is a good beginning. Let your body grow familiar with it. Like all good habits, it starts small. And over time, it becomes something you look forward to, not just for health, but for the comfort it brings. What science says. Studies from Japan on muscle and bone health with natto. In Japan, we hold deep respect for tradition, but we also trust in science. And now, science is beginning to confirm what our grandparents quietly knew for generations. Natto doesn't just taste strong, it is strong. A few years ago, researchers from the University of Tsukuba conducted a study with over 900 elderly Japanese adults. They discovered that those who ate natto at least 3 times a week had higher bone density and better muscle function compared to those who rarely ate it. But it wasn't just about bones. Another study, published in the Nutrients Journal, followed seniors over 65 and found that natto intake was associated with lower risk of sarcopenia, the age-related muscle loss that silently steals our strength. Those who included natto in their diets had stronger grip, better balance, and even walked faster. I remember showing these results to my neighbor, Mr. Aoki, who was recovering from a hip injury. He looked at me, smiled, and said, "Maybe I need to eat more than once a week, huh?" Even beyond Japan, Western researchers are paying attention. They're fascinated by a natural enzyme found only in natto, natto kinase, which shows promise in supporting blood flow and reducing clot formation. For older adults, this matters more than we think. Good circulation means better oxygen to the muscles. Better oxygen means more energy, less fatigue. Another important nutrient, vitamin K2, is especially rare in most Western diets. But natto is one of the richest sources in the world. K2 doesn't just help bones, it may also support arterial flexibility, keeping your heart strong as the years pass. Here's what impressed me the most. In Japan, fractures from falling are far less common than in the US. Part of that is lifestyle, but part of it is diet. And among elderly women in particular, those who regularly ate natto were found to have significantly fewer hip fractures. It's not magic, it's just nature, prepared with care. Some of the researchers even noted that people who ate natto tended to be more active, more independent, and even reported higher quality of life scores in interviews. Could it be the natto alone? No. But it plays a role, a quiet, daily helper. For those who are unsure about the smell or texture, I always say this: try a little. Let your body remember something gentle. Let your strength return, slowly, naturally. How the Japanese eat natto every day. Simple, budget-friendly, powerful in my home, natto isn't a health trend. It's just breakfast. Most mornings, I rise early. The light comes through the paper windows and the house is still. I boil some rice, open a small pack of natto, and stir it gently with chopsticks. My hands know the rhythm. Left, right, over again until the beans become sticky, silky, full of life. In Japan, this is a quiet ritual. Many elders like me eat natto with a raw egg, a splash of soy sauce, and chopped green onions, all served over hot rice. The warmth softens the flavors, and the protein fills the body without weighing it down. For lunch, some add natto to cold soba noodles or stir it into miso soup. Others make hand rolls with seaweed, rice, and natto, easy to chew, full of nutrients. I've even seen children eat it on toast with melted cheese. But I know in America, the taste and smell can feel unfamiliar. So let me give you a few gentle tips. 1. Start with frozen natto. Many Asian markets sell it in small, frozen packs. Once thawed, it tastes milder. If the texture worries you, try mixing it with a little mustard or even a dash of lemon juice. It softens the edge. 2. Pair it with what you already like. Try natto on whole grain toast, stirred into oatmeal with a soft-boiled egg, or wrapped in lettuce leaves like a Japanese taco. My cousin in Seattle eats it in his morning smoothie. Not traditional, but it works for him. 3. Keep it simple. There's no need for fancy cooking. Natto is ready to eat. You don't need a stove, just a spoon and curiosity. And perhaps most importantly, don't rush. You don't have to eat it every day. Start with once a week, then twice. Let your body notice the difference. How your knees feel after a walk. How your hands grip the mug. How steady you feel when standing up. I often think of natto as a quiet friend. It doesn't demand. It simply gives. And in a world full of noise, something simple, honest, and strong can make all the difference. Adding natto to your week. A gentle plan to rebuild strength. When I first returned to natto after many years, I didn't jump into eating it every day. No, I treated it like an old friend I was learning to know again. Slowly, respectfully. If you're curious but unsure where to start, let me offer you a gentle plan. Nothing strict, just a rhythm that's kind to your body. Week 1, just twice. Choose 2 mornings. Open a small pack. Eat it with something familiar. Warm rice, toast, a soft-boiled egg. Let your senses adjust. Don't think of it as medicine. Think of it as nourishment. Notice how you feel that day. Are your joints quieter? Do you feel lighter after walking? Week 2. Try 3 times. Now your body begins to recognize it. Maybe you add natto to lunch instead of breakfast. Try mixing it into a soup, a salad, or even spooning it onto avocado toast. I like mine with miso soup and steamed vegetables. It makes me feel full, but not tired. Week 3. Let it become a rhythm. By now, it's not a health experiment. It's part of your week, a habit, something your hands reach for without thinking. Maybe it's every other day, maybe more. You decide. Some elders in Japan keep a small stack of natto packs in the fridge, like others store tea or jam. No fanfare, just readiness. And remember, there's no perfect amount. Your body is unique. Some need more protein. Others feel better with less. The goal isn't to follow rules. It's to listen. You might begin noticing changes that don't scream, but whisper. Your grip on the railing feels steadier. You sleep deeper. You bend down to tie your shoe without thinking. These are the quiet victories of aging well. My cousin in New York, after 1 month of eating natto 3 times a week, wrote to me, "I don't know if it's the beans or the ritual, but I feel like I've taken back something I thought I had lost." That's what I wish for you. Not miracles, not fads, but steady strength. A little food, a little patience, a little love for the body that has carried you this far. When I was younger, I believed strength came from effort, pushing harder, lifting more, eating bigger meals. But now, in my 70s, I've learned that true strength is quiet. It's not how much we can carry, but how gently we move through each day, how fully we show up for ourselves. You may feel your muscles fading, your energy less constant. That's natural, but it's not the end. There are still ways to rebuild, not through force, but through kindness, through small, steady habits like a bowl of natto in the morning light. I share all this not as a doctor, not as an expert, but as someone walking beside you in this season of life. And I want you to know, you are not powerless. Your body still listens, and it can still respond with time, with care, and with the right nourishment. Try natto. Try it gently. Give it time. Let it be your quiet helper. Before we say goodbye, I invite you to share with me, what small change are you thinking of making this week? I'd truly love to read your thoughts in the comments below. And please, if you found comfort here, consider subscribing. There's more I wish to share with you, from one elder to another. Take care of yourself. You are worth the effort. The health information in this video is not intended as medical advice. If you have concerns about your health, please consult your doctor. In case of emergency, call your local emergency number immediately.